This week, how about a muscle car that knows how to work for a living? Ford basically invented the personal car truck market back in the mid-50s when they came out with the Ranchero. In fact, we showed you a high-performance version of the 1957 Ranchero on an earlier episode of Muscle Car of the Week. And this was designed to be a vehicle that retained the flash and driving performance of a family sedan, but had the functionality of a pickup truck. So the cool thing is, the Ford guys didn't forget to keep a performance version in mind when they debuted the Ranchero. In fact, that 57 version we showed you had a factory supercharger. It was one of only two ever made. And over the years, Ford kept building performance versions of Rancheros. And today, we're looking at a 1969 version that features the GT package and a pretty rare 428 Cobra jet engine under the hood. So from this point forward, it's basically like sitting in a Torino GT, which is a pretty nice car. This one has a comfortable bench seat. It's a column shift and a few minimal options. Got an AM radio. It does have power disc brakes. Very minimal instrumentation. It's kind of interesting, being a Cobra jet car, it's only got indicator lights instead of actual gauges. But overall, probably a pretty nice place to be. By 1969, the Ranchero was built off the Ford Torino platform, and the Torino was available in a high-performance version. So again, Ford just took all of the high-performance Torino stuff and added it to a Ranchero GT package. This car is pretty cool. It's wearing a nice light blue called Brittany Blue. It's code Q, and it has the Torino GT style side stripes on it. And the interior is also blue. And you'll notice it has a 14x6 Rally GT wheel, and it's got a cool hood scoop. When you look at the 69 Ranchero, you're essentially looking at a 1969 Torino with all of the rear sheet metal changed out. Instead of having the sloping rear window of a Torino, you've got a pickup truck bed. But the front half of the car has very similar styling. In fact, it shared that same look where the headlights were mounted horizontally and the same kind of aggressive grille, and this one actually has the hood scoop coming through the hood because it's part of the GT package. Overall, it's a really good looking car, and if you think about it, if you wanted to go fast, the goal is always to make your car as light as possible and put as much power as you can to go fast. But in the case of the Ranchero, although you did remove the rear seat, the rear deck lid, the rear glass, and all of that extra weight that the Torino had, it didn't benefit quite that much because you lost a lot of traction. These things made a whole bunch of torque. That 428 Cobra jet engine made 335 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 440 foot-pounds of torque at 3,400 RPM. So it was enough to smoke the tires completely off the rims if you wanted to, because that rear bed just didn't provide any weight for traction. But what you gained is something that you could actually use. Many of the cars we feature here on Muscle Car of the Week are like perfect, pristine restorations or 100% correct original. One of the things I like about this Ranchero is that it has some dings and dents. The bed is kind of beat up, which means this thing got used for its intended purpose. I mean, this was intended to be a work truck, and somebody threw stuff back here. Who knows? Maybe it was a farm truck or a parts delivery rig. All I know is that if this was delivering parts, if you called them, you got them in a hurry. The driveline in this Ranchero is a 428 Cobra jet engine, which was a 10.6-to-1 compression V8. A pretty smooth running engine, but designed to make a whole bunch of power. Ford rated these at 335 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. They had a free-breathing 4-barrel intake manifold, special exhaust. This particular one is mated to a C6 automatic transmission, and the production numbers, I think they're right around 100 with the Cobra Jet automatic package. This car does not have the drag pack, so it's got a more realistic gear for regular highway driving. It's a Ford 9-inch rear end with a 350-to-1 rear gear. This one is showing just over 67,000 miles on the odometer, which means this blue-collar muscle car probably earned its living. You can see more pictures of it on our website at musclecaroftheweek.com, and we've got our Facebook page to share the cars, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode of Muscle Car of the Week.